Captain Deshant here. We secured the underground route to the coordinates.
Hey, what is going on, everybody, and welcome back to my channel. Or if this is the first time you're watching any of my videos, welcome to. And in today's video, we are finally finished with Resident Evil 5, and we are to the review, just like all my other I was about to say franchises, just like all my other games that I finished. But anyways, if you guys enjoyed that series, or if, like I said before, if this is like the first time you're watching, if you just wanted to see a review on Resident Evil 5, I do recommend you go watch the playthrough, because this game is a very fun game, but I do have some gripes with it. And now then, I did play this game on my Xbox Series X, and you can play this on all current gen consoles and PC, because this is almost every single Resident Evil game was like remastered in like 1080p 60 frames per second for Xbox One and PS4, and you can play them via backwards compatibility and shit. But the first thing I do want to say is that this game's fun. It's a very good game. I'm gonna get more into the story and gameplay and shit. Just not the story as much, just because we completed the entire. You know how these reviews go. There's like maybe 7 or 8 of them already on my channel. But that's enough talking right now. Because we have to get into this gameplay. Because oh boy, I really have to talk about this gameplay.
Come on!
Resident Evil 5 plays very similar to the last installment, Resident Evil 4, with a couple added bonuses and man, they removed. Okay, so one of the biggest additions to this game is that you constantly have a partner with you now. In Resident Evil 4, it was that the only partner that you ever had was really Ashley, and all she ever did was get killed. That's all she did throughout the entire game. But in Resident Evil 5, you are now giving a permanent partner who, like you, can use every single gun in the game. But the only problem is that you have to supply them with ammo. So you have to make sure to balance your ammo supply between two characters. One of the things I have to say about this game that they did wonderful was that in Resident Evil 4, the gameplay loop kind of got, after a run or two, it kind of got stale of shooting them, running over there, hitting them, and knifing them. Resident Evil 5 really does away with the having to run over there, and, like, knifing them. Well, you still can, like, knife them and all that, but they do add the extra option of, like, after you combo them and knock them down, of having the stomp option, and I think if it's like a head stomp, it's like an insta-kill, and then the body, it's like a couple stomps until they're dead and stuff, which is like, it's a really good addition into the game. One of the things, though, I have to say that they really should have they should have kept from Resident Evil 4 was the market system in this game. Well, yeah, let me talk about that. The gameplay structure, unlike the past games where it was kind of semi-open world, where you'd have to go here and unlock a room, and rooms would be like unlocked, unlocked and stuff, and there would be puzzles. Resident Evil 4 takes the more of a linear approach, to where there's more, I know Resident Evil 4 took the more of a chapter approach, but there were more puzzles and stuff, and you had to, like, okay, these puzzles need to be solved and stuff. Resident Evil 5, honestly, and it's one of the biggest things that I noticed while playing the game, is it really does away with the puzzles. Some of the only times I really could even consider something was a puzzle is when there was a key that was somewhere and it was like very obvious where it was. But there were not. It just sucks because one of the main things that I loved about Resident Evil was like the really like out there puzzles that really made no sense. And yeah, Resident Evil 4 really didn't have really a lot of them. They started getting rid of them as the game started going on, but it hurts to see them actually go because the puzzles in Resident Evil are actually a very big part of it. And so that's what I completely forgot what this reason was, but that's one of my biggest gripes with this game is that they removed the puzzles. And then and then when it comes to the market system, and then unlike Resident Evil 4 is when they had the market, the merchant, and he was like spread throughout the levels. And so now every time at the end of the level that you get to go and you go to the market shop, and the market honestly is bland. There's nobody running it or anything. It's just And then when it comes to the treasure too, they brought the back picking up, but it's just like the treasure and stuff, but it's just like gems and like random bangles and stuff. One of the most enjoyable parts about Resident Evil 4 was the picking up a treasure and combining it and getting the money for it and stuff. It was always such a fun thing to do. But really, that's all I had to say about this game. I wish there were more puzzles in it. Other than that, I feel like this was a natural evolution from Resident Evil 4 to Resident Evil 5. The gunplay feels smooth. It's just smooth. The partner system works very well. The only thing I have to say is that making sure that your partner does keep ammo on them, it's really annoying and stuff because there's been times where I'm just blasting a few of just taking just left and right, taking them down left and right, and my partner just has no ammo and is just standing in the corner. So it's a little frustrating having to focus on your ammo and their ammo, which I think they fixed in Resident Evil 6, I'm pretty sure, to where you don't need to do that, which is honestly, it's such a relief, man. But like I said, they did update the combo system to where instead of like the same gameplay loop of pressing X, running over there and knifing them, you now can just stomp their heads out once they're on the ground and stuff. And the boss fights and stuff, it's good old Resident Evil, glowing eyes and stuff. I just have to say that this game is a fun. It's very good, but it doesn't feel. You could tell the shift from being the iconic Resident Evil series started with Resident Evil 5, and the Resident Evil like I remember somebody said if Resident Evil 5 jumped the shark, Resident Evil 6 shot that motherfucker with a bazooka from space after a laser hit. It basically, like, Resident Evil 6 basically took what Resident Evil 5 did and all the shit that didn't work and then amplified it. So the way I feel like the gameplay system works for like this is that what Resident Evil 5 took from what Resident Evil 4 was, they took what mostly worked with that game and they took stuff that didn't work and they put it into Resident Evil 5. I will tell you right now, Resident Evil 6 took everything that didn't work with Resident Evil 5 and put that into a game. But we will get more into that when we get to there. But all in all, I do recommend that you go play this game if you want to do a binge of the Resident Evil series. It is a nice, after you play like the really horror-oriented ones up until Code Veronica, the next two ones are really action. Resident Evil 4 and 5 are actually very fun. And this story, man, oh god. This story, honestly, this story is much more put together than Resident Evil 4, and I take it much more seriously than that, but let's talk about that in a minute.
Stop playing around. We want some answers.
You haven't changed.
Wesker, you are alive.
This is Wesker.
We last met at the Spencer estate, wasn't it? Well, isn't this one big family reunion? I would expect you to be happier to see us.
Us?
So slow to catch on.
Jill, it's me, Chris.
What? Are you sure that's her?
The one and only. Now, let's finish this once and for all.
Resident Evil 5 takes place, I'm pretty sure, 11 years after Code Veronica X, and 5 years after Resident Evil 4, in which the Lost Plagas actually is being used in a lot of like experiments and stuff. And the one place where they were, especially where the BSAA, which is the new anti-bioweapon terrorist group, I forget what it actually stands for, actually located that there are actually experiments going on in South Africa. So they send our homeboy Chris with a brand new partner, Sheva, to go locate where the Lost Plagas is. And man, shit just goes wrong. It turns out Wesker's actually there behind it. Jill died years ago, like in a mission to go find Wesker. There's just a bunch of twists and turns, and I feel like this story is much more serious than Resident Evil 4. In Resident Evil 4, there were a lot of jokes that Leon tried to crack and stuff. I can't remember a joke that was cracked in this game. And I feel like the seriousness in this game is based solely on the fact that this is the final chapter of like Wesker. Like this is like 11. Like if this is like almost like this is 15, maybe almost 20 like years of like just animosity built between Chris and Wesker from getting his the fucking from the Spencer Mansion to the island when he got his ass beaten and stuff, and then now it's just look what he did to Jill and stuff. It's just this game. I enjoy the story a lot. There are some unbelievable parts on here, mainly the part where at the end where Chris punches a rock. I just can't take that scene without laughing. But all in all, the story is a very solid one. On seeing the effects from Ada Wong selling the Lost Plagas from here until now, and seeing how far the bioweapons actually are getting in, like how advanced they are getting, because my first Resident Evil game that I actually played to completion was Resident Evil 6, and if you know that game, spoiler, I'm gonna just skip to the end of this video if you don't want to hear anything about Resident Evil 6 right now. But in Resident Evil 6, the bioweapons in there are so advanced to where they can use guns and everything, and that is honestly I didn't understand what was going on. But as I played the last Resident Evil 4 and 5, it has to do with them going and getting these different types of viruses and making them to where people where they're intelligent, to the point where in Resident Evil 8 we will see like it's the like penultimate like bioweapons that they are developing. But this story is fantastic, and I love it. It is I love it more because it is much more serious. It feels much more serious than Resident Evil 4. I will say this now. In Resident Evil 4, it just felt like Leon was just having like a blast, like trying to save the president's daughter and everything. Like he was just laughing, and nothing was like. It just really didn't feel like it was a Resident Evil like this. The tone of the game didn't fit the atmosphere. This game is serious. They need to stop Wesker and all that and everything. And some of the main enemies too that they introduce, honestly, are some of like the funnest. I forget what his name is. They like the beginning dude. His voice is, oh man, he's just, oh my god. And then Alexa, who's just, she simped so hard for Wesker, and then just my man Wesker is just a monster. But I really did enjoy this story. And then if I have to say this, I say this is maybe in the top 5. Well, this is Resident Evil 5, but this is in the top like maybe 3 stories of Resident Evil games. But now we are going to be moving on to Resident Evil 6, and my main thing is, do I recommend that you play this game? Because since I have played from Resident Evil 1 Remastered all the way into Resident Evil 5, do I recommend that you go back and play these games? And I will honestly say yes, because as I'm playing these games, I am just very excited to move on to the next one, and playing from the first one to number 5 has honestly increased my excitement to start number 6, because I have been dreading it. But Resident Evil 5 has kind of like it really made me like, okay, you know, I maybe, because Resident Evil 5 is a very fun game. It's a fun co-op game. I do recommend you play the campaign in co-op though, because solo is very annoying with that damn computer. And I do know people said that Resident Evil 5 is peak at it in co-op gameplay. And then when it came to the extra content, like the Lost in Memories mission, I had to say was some of the best fan service that I've ever seen. Seeing the Spencer Mansion in like 3D and like in HD and stuff, honestly was it made me want a Resident Evil remake much more now. And then the Desperate Escape mission was very fun, and they also have a very diverse mercenary modes where you can play as a lot of the cast, including Rebecca Chambers, who hasn't been seen since Resident Evil 0. And we never even played that one. But anyways, I do recommend that you play Resident Evil 5. The story is great, the gameplay is great, and while they did remove while the puzzles, the merchant and stuff, they're really they're not the same as they used to be. I do recommend that you guys go and play this game. It's a fun game, and if you are a Resident Evil fan and you weren't able to play this, I do recommend it, highly recommend it, man. But that is enough of this, as we are finally finished with Resident Evil 5, and I am so sorry that it took me this long to be finished with it. I actually just needed a little break from just making thumbnails or rendering videos real quick. But now that we are done with this, we are going to be moving on to the infamous Resident Evil 6 that killed the franchise. Like, oh my god, but we will get into that in the Resident Evil 6 review. But I hope you guys enjoyed this. There's a lot of other content on my channel, and I know after this video goes up, I know I am thinking about uploading, actually I'm not even thinking about it, I am starting the OG Final Fantasy 7, and I think a couple more games should be coming out soon and stuff, because we are reaching the end of the Resident Evil 6, the Resident Evil playthrough. We have 3 more games, which is Resident Evil 6, 7, and 8, and I'm very excited to get to 7 and 8, because those are Resident Evil. They brought Resident Evil back from the grave. But anyways, and I hope you guys are having a wonderful rest of your day today. Hit that bell notification so you don't miss any of these videos, and so we don't start the most infamous game. And I hope you guys are having I already fucking said that. Alright, yeah, I need to stop this. Peace out.